good day. This is my Campeche tree. I think I'm saying that properly. This was actually, I included this in the video, I think where I said I went and bought some Christmas presents for myself, I think is what I called it. Between the thorns and my inexperience with wiring a tree like this, I'm not going to wire it for a bit. I'm just going to kind of keep it a clip and grow. It's going through, sometimes, it's going through a big growth spurt. You can see that these ends here are red, and that reddish, it's a tint that kind of comes out that keeps leaves from sunburning until they have a chance to turn green. But in my desire to keep it a clip and grow, I've just kind of, seen some things here. First off, this is where it was chopped. I'm assuming maybe when it was collected. It could have been just when it was potted or something. And then it's got one branch here with a bunch of curving branches coming off of that. And some of them, I know that that's the nature of the tree the more I read about it, but some of them are kind of crossing on top of each other and everything. You got two branches coming out of the same spot here, and one of those actually leads to this super long one. And so what I'm going to do, this will be a pretty quick video. I'm just going to trim off, probably there's like 3 or 4 of these that are really just kind of crossing. I mean, like this one starts where that branch comes out, right at the crotch of it, and then takes some curves and comes way over here. I don't want a branch that starts on this side of the tree and winds up way out here. So I'm going to take off a few of the branches that don't make sense, probably tip prune a little bit, just to see if that gives me any back budding. I'm sure that when I do that, that will also cause some back budding. Everything I've seen and read on these things, it'll actually back bud on the bare trunk too. So I really am interested to see what happens with this thing. It gets the fluted trunk. I think that this is pretty interesting here. Right here it almost looks like it's like a piece of bark that came off. But then sometimes, you can go around to the other side and find where it started at the other way. And it's a smooth bark all the way back around to that groove again. So I'm going to get started here. Hope for the best. This, as I kind of, when I water it every day and I'm trying to make decisions on what I'm going to do, this is the branch that actually does kind of bother me the most. That's the one that came out that way, curved all the way around to the other side. This one's where it has the 2 branches coming out of one spot. This one's nice and long, but I think this other branch here is a little more of a keeper, kind of in the right spot. And not that you want everything straight, but it doesn't just shoot off that way. And plus, I do believe I can tell from the structure there that this was the original branch, and then that piece just kind of popped out there. Make this one a bit shorter. Make that one a bit shorter too. This is kind of basically what the apex is going to look like. I've seen some pictures and examples of what these look like as bonsai. I've never really seen them that much in the wild as far as like what they look like naturally. Sometimes I kind of like to go off of that. That's the top chop, if you will, and then it has that branch coming out of the side there. That's that one I saved instead of that longer one there. Cut the tip off maybe just to promote a little more back budding or whatever. And I think that's just about it. Haven't really thought much about a front. I do like that flute part there in the trunk. So I'm thinking maybe something about like that. You can see a little movement to it and everything. Very little experience with a tree like this. Not sure how I'm going to treat this wound here. I'm going to see what happens if I just hit it with the knob cutters. Try to get a little bit closer to where that new apex is coming out. That is some really hard wood there. I don't want to carve it and cause that to hold any water or anything. This is the only one I've got like this. Sometimes when I when I experiment around with, you know, Ficus microcarpa or something like that, I've got like, what, 10, 15 of them out there, maybe even more. So, you know, if I lose one, it's not that big of a deal. I don't want to lose this guy. It's the only one I've got. And I went ahead and got one of their, what I assume was a collected one, where it's got a little more trunk on it than any of the cuttings that they had for sale or whatever. So I'll leave it like that for the time being, see how that acts. A couple days ago, I guess, maybe yesterday or something, was the first day of spring. So I'm expecting now, since you can already see two little those red branches coming out of there. Should really explode since I cut it back.